Welcome to Flashpoint Friday, a weekly series where I select one game at random from Flashpoint's archives and give it a try. And maybe, just maybe, the game might actually be good. Hello everyone, welcome back to Flashpoint Friday, and this week we have another viewer request from Agent 851, and longtime viewers of the series might be getting a case of deja vu here. Interesting, there are some sponsor splash screens for this. It's not often you see sponsors for Flash games, but to give a bit of a backstory, about a year ago, well, more than a year ago, when I covered the Drag Racer game for Agent 851, they had initially requested that I cover, there's 3 iterations of it, but back then I had a different request policy where I only took one game at a time, but I've since changed that, and I figure, you know what, we're in a dry spell right now, quality-wise, for Flash games, so why not liven things up a bit and play the other 2 games that they requested. So, yeah, this is Drag Racer version 2. So, it'll be interesting to see what's changed compared to the first iteration of Drag Racer. Looks like we started a new game. And by the way, I am actually playing this on the Newgrounds website. And so this is obviously available online. PhantomGames.net, though, is sadly defunct. It's basically just a blank webpage with the title and a boilerplate privacy policy, but that's it. There's nothing else. But anyway, this looks very familiar, but it looks like we have maybe an expanded roster of cars to choose from this time around compared to the first game. And let's see. I'm going to test something. What happens? Because I remember in the first game you could... I have 30,000 in cash right now. This costs double. In the first version of the game, you could just buy whatever and it would just put you into a negative amount. But what? Okay, so they fixed that for this iteration. So I can't. So you can't. So you can't buy outside of your means, monetarily speaking. So we got a lot to choose from too. Obviously, a lot of these are. A lot of the higher end ones are going to be outside of my price range. I mean, I could get a Ford Mustang, but you know what though? I think I might go with Toyota for now. I know they're not exactly racing grade cars, but they're relatively cheap and they're very reliable, generally speaking. So let's go ahead and buy a Toyota Supra GZ. That'll give us, they'll leave us about 4,000 in cash still. So you've purchased a Toyota Supra GZ, okay? All right, and we are in the garage, and let's see. They got a show button. I guess as if you wanted to take a screenshot or something. And what are the options? I remember the first game had customization options for the car. You wanted to have something a little more lively from the kind of boring boilerplate white here. Garage seems to be a save and load feature. I tried I tried show already. Test. Oh, I think this is a test race. Well, I might as well try that. Okay. Uh-oh. Hang on. Why aren't I moving? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, but for some reason the game's controls were not responding like they should. I was pressing space for the gas like you're supposed to, but the car was not moving. But I just went ahead and reloaded the page and started over since I hardly got anywhere. And so I'm right back where I was, and everything seems to be working fine now. So it's interesting to note so far that there's no sound, though, which is unusual, because I distinctly remember at the very least engine sounds being a thing in the first version. It did have music options as well, but they were all copyrighted material, so I couldn't play it for the purpose of the playthrough. But there appears to be no music option this time around. Maybe, I don't know. This was kind of in the day before copyright holders got overly litigious with their defending other properties, so I don't know. But maybe they were hedging their bets even back then. But let's just go ahead. So yeah, the toolbox is where you go to customize your car. I don't remember if the first version had decals or not, but if not, that's kind of a neat addition. I don't know though. I'm not much one for decals, so I think I'll just not bother with that. You can change the window tint, the frame angle, wheel size, ride height, all sorts of stuff like that. Let me just throw some, I don't know, purple neon lights under there. So that looks pretty decent. Looks like there's even a tuning if you wanted to really get into the nitty gritty to adjust the gear ratios and all that sort of thing. But for demonstration purposes here, I'm not going to bother with that. Let's go ahead and just try a race. Stock level, 400 meters, $500 stakes. That sounds decent. Oh, well, there's some engine noise, but it's gone already. Okay. So, I don't know. Sound is pretty minimal, it seems, compared to the previous version of the game, but it might be imagination, but things seem to be running a little smoother, though. So, yeah, I kind of had a feeling I was going to lose that one, judging by the look of my opponent. He seemed to have kind of a high-end car there. So maybe we should try to race against a relative clunker here. Let's try this. Okay, yeah. We're leaving this person in the dust. Yeah, so controls are exactly the same as the first Drag Racer. You press and hold the space bar to apply the gas, and you keep an eye on your RPMs, and when they reach the red, that's a good idea to switch gears and such. So, let me try one more thing, because I remember this being kind of broken in the first version of the game. Whoa, I'm not doing well this time. But this is kind of more for testing purposes. There's a nitrous oxide button. Is that... Yeah. I just tried clicking on it. I think you can hit the N key as well, but just like version 1, it doesn't seem to make any difference with this iteration, so I'm not sure if I'm doing that wrong. I suspect that might be the case if this is the second game where I'm not able to work the nitrous oxide. So, but I guess we'll just stick with just the car's normal performance, and I just have to be... There's a story mode. It's interesting. So let's see what this is. Name Wincram. So it's $1,000 stake this time around. So let's go. And this opponent is no challenge at all. Easy peasy. Easiest 1,000 I ever made. So... Oh, where would you like to save his car? So you get to take his car as part of the spoils? Interesting. I guess slot 1. Yeah, we have a Honda CRX now in our garage. So, wow, that's interesting. Well, I don't think I'm going to use it, though, judging by its sorry performance there. Let's just go ahead and do the next challenger, G. Willie. Alrighty, let's do it. Yep, this guy is maybe marginally better than our first opponent, but there's still no match for us. And okay, so I guess slot 2. Maybe I'll fill up all my slots and then see how I'm feeling. But yeah, this is... This seems to be, for the most part, just kind of more of the same compared to version 1, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I felt the first game was pretty decent in its own right, and this is more the same with just like a few tweaks and polishes and bug fixes and whatnot. So, let's go ahead. Maybe I'll just do one more race. And maybe we'll set it to 1,000. And we'll try this. Not sure if I'm going to win or not, but They got an early lead, but can they hold it? It's kind of an endurance test for this one. Yeah, looks like they are. They're pretty fast. Nitrous oxide, I still don't quite get that. Yep, we lost that one. So let's see what happens when we load these. Honda Civic. Yep, and does that, oh, what happened to our Toyota, though? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Did we lose our Toyota? I'm not seeing it anymore. Oh, no. Well, shoot. Well, okay, well, I wasn't really planning on playing for much longer anyway, but that's unfortunate. So I guess we're stuck with this Honda now. So you might not want to fiddle around with that if you don't know what you're doing, like I was. Yeah, so I guess this is as good a time as any to call it. So that's Drag Racer version 2. And if you liked the first drag racing game, then you're going to like this one. It's more the same with a bit more in the way of bells and whistles and a bit more polished. And it was popular enough back in the day to get its own sponsors for this, no less. So, yeah, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, go ahead and definitely check it out. So, thanks to Agent 851 for requesting this game, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Flashpoint Friday. And take care, everyone.